Dubai can't believe what Sheikh Hamdan revealed about his ex-wife. Dubai woke before the sun, not with noise but with a hush, like sand holding its breath, towers listening to their own shadows. A name moved through the air, not shouted, not announced. It drifted like incense, carried by balconies and glass. Sheikh Hamdan stood in silence, a man shaped by duty and dawn. His words were not sharp. They were slow like a falcon circling. He did not speak of endings. He spoke of seasons, of doors that once opened, of rooms that learned how to echo. The city leaned closer. Even the roads paused. Because when a man like this speaks, every heartbeat counts itself. He said love is not always loud. Sometimes it is a prayer said alone. Sometimes it is respect that remains. After footsteps fade from the hall, he said she was not a headline, not a rumor, not a wound. She was a chapter written softly, in ink that does not beg for light. Dubai felt that truth, because this city knows reflection. It knows how mirrors lie, and how water remembers the sky. He did not accuse the past. He did not crown himself right. He held responsibility like a lamp, careful not to burn the hand. The word ex did not feel cold. It felt like distance at sunset, where warmth still exists, but the day chooses to move on. Women on balconies listened. Men in cafes grew quiet, because dignity spoke louder than any confession ever could. He said some bonds teach strength, others teach mercy, and some simply teach how to let go without breaking. The desert understood him, because sand never argues with wind. It shifts, it accepts, it becomes new shapes by morning. His voice carried no bitterness, only clarity, like rain that does not ask permission, yet leaves the air clean. Dubai did not gasp. It exhaled, realizing that truth can be gentle, and power can bow to grace. He honored privacy like a shield, not a wall, because walls divide, but shields protect without hatred. He reminded the city that royalty is not gold. It is restraint. It is choosing silence where noise would win. The past remained unnamed, yet fully seen, like stars behind thin clouds. Still guiding the traveler, people expected fire. They received light. They expected scandal. They received wisdom. And in that moment, Dubai believed again that strength can be soft and love can end without war. The ex-wife became a memory, not erased, not stained, but placed where memories belong. In the care of time, this was not a revelation of shock. It was a revelation of calm, and the city learned that maturity is the rarest crown. As night returned to the skyline, windows reflected a quieter truth. Some stories are not told to break hearts, but to teach them how to stand. Ends in stillness, not closure, because some truths do not finish. They simply rest. The city kept thinking after the silence, like water moving under a bridge. No sound yet, always there. Dubai does not forget moments like this. Morning arrived softer than usual. Light touched glass without glare. People scrolled and paused, because something inside them paused too. His words stayed hanging, not heavy, not sharp. They moved slowly, like a kite held by a steady hand. Some thought truth must roar. Others expected fire. But what came was patience. A calm lesson wrapped in breath. He spoke without saying names, yet everyone understood. Because meaning does not need labels. when honesty is present. He spoke of respect after distance, of kindness surviving change, of how two paths can separate without turning into enemies. The city learned a quiet thing, that endings are not failures, they are conclusions written by time, not by anger. In cafes, people whispered reflections, not gossip, but thought, rare in a place that moves fast. A woman said strength looked different today. A man nodded without words. Both felt it. That dignity had spoken. He showed that silence can protect more than noise ever could. That privacy is not weakness, but discipline. The past stood behind him, not chained, not denied, just acknowledged with calm eyes. Some stories are not for crowds. They are for growth, for inner rooms where maturity lives. The word reveal lost its drama. It became clarity, like a window cleaned, not broken. Dubai saw leadership without performance, power without display, a crown worn inside, not on the tongue. He reminded the city that love can be real, even if it does not last, even if it changes form. There was no blame offered, no defense raised, only acceptance, a rare currency. People felt strangely relieved because they expected chaos, but received balance. And balance is soothing. The skyline reflected thoughtfulness, steel and glass learning humility, understanding that height means nothing without foundation. He did not rewrite the past. He respected it, letting it stand. Without decoration, the city noticed the absence of bitterness, and that absence spoke louder than any dramatic sentence ever could. Children played as usual, unaware yet affected, because calm adults shape calmer tomorrows. Without speeches, the desert wind carried the moment, across dunes and roads, teaching again that patience survives everything. Some said nothing was said. Others knew everything was said. Because wisdom does not shout, it waits. This part of the story is not about revelation. It is about restraint, a harder art. He showed that moving on does not require erasing. It requires understanding and space. Dubai held that lesson, like a quiet jewel, not shown to everyone, but felt by many. As evening settled again, the city felt steadier, as if reminded that truth can heal, rests here, in reflection, in calm, in learned silence. Night returned with a softer step. Dubai breathed like a settled sea. Light stayed awake, but heart slowed down. What remained was not shock, it was understanding. A quiet agreement between people that some truths arrive without noise. The story did not grow claws. It grew roots, sinking deep into thought. Holding the ground steady, he walked away from the moment, not chased by echoes, because he left nothing burning. Behind him, the city watched his back and learned something rare, that walking forward can be graceful. Memory stayed gentle, like a photograph kept folded, opened only when needed, never thrown away. There was no victory claimed, no loss announced, only balance, only calm. People felt respect return to conversations, to timelines, to their own choices. This was not about an X. It was about evolution, about learning when to speak and when to stop. The past remained human, not turned into a symbol, not turned into a lesson weapon, just a past. He proved that leadership is not explaining everything, it is knowing what must remain untouched. Dubai felt older, in a good way, like wisdom added. not years. Some expected a storm. They received a horizon wide, clear. The truth stood without decoration, strong enough to exist alone. Without applause, women felt seen. Men felt steadier, because respect has weight, and everyone carries it. The word reveal lost meaning. What mattered was tone, the calm center of the voice. He showed that endings do not cancel beginnings. They complete them in their own way. The city moved on, but not unchanged, because moments like this leave shape. Glass towers reflected restraint. Roads reflected patience. Even the rush learned to slow. No rumors grew teeth. No fire found oxygen, because dignity starved drama completely. This was not silence forced. It was silence chosen, and chosen silence is powerful. The lesson stayed simple. Speak when it heals. Stop when it protects. Move when it is time. Love was not denied. Pain was not displayed. Everything stayed human, balanced. He left the story open, but not unfinished. Some endings do not need locks. They need respect. Dubai accepted that gift, wrapped in calm, carried into nights and mornings. The X became a chapter, not a scar. A page turned, not torn. And the city learned again that true royalty is not confession, it is control. This final part settles, like dust after wind. Everything visible, nothing broken. The truth did not explode. It stood, and standing was enough.